Alright, it's day 4. So the lessons I've learned so far: on day 1, I went out of the gates too hard and kind of burned myself out, stayed up late at the end of day 1. Day 2 reflected that. I was very distracted and found it hard to focus. When you change your wake up time beyond an hour, so if you're normally waking up at say 7 a.m. and you wake up at after 8 a.m, so say at 8:30 or 9, more than an hour than you normally would, then that really scrambles your brain. I experienced that on day 2. Then I set my compass, if you like, and used that North Star, that guiding principle, to get back on track, which is my cornerstone habit to be in bed with a book by 9:30 p.m. at the end of day 2, and that really helped me. Day 3 yesterday was much better. That focus on that cornerstone habit, being in bed with a book, reading this book, Atlas Shrugs. Honestly, I'm finding it a bit hard to get through. It's a funny one. Normally I'm reading business books or self-development books. This is very different. Anyway, after a couple of pages, yeah, you do really start to get into it. I'm not sure it's something you can read in kind of 15-minute bursts, 20-minute bursts. Maybe not, we'll see. Anyway, I was in bed with a book, read that. Day 3 yesterday was better. The only thing I learned yesterday is to not get distracted by trivial tasks. Like, I was WhatsApping these people back and forth trying to sort something out, and I didn't really need to get involved. I was just trying to be helpful. I was just being distracted. I think keeping all social media turned off, WhatsApp closed, definitely until I've done my first 3 work blocks. That's going to be a plan going forward, kind of like a second cornerstone habit to being in bed with a book by 9:30 p.m. Then last night I was invited to go to Cirque Du Soleil. Now that does not finish until, I think I got home by 10:30. That's an hour later than obviously the 9:30 target time, but I managed to front load a lot of the things in my evening routine, like the tidy for 10 minutes, the read this book. I did it before the evening started, so it kind of gave me a running start to just jump into bed and go to sleep. I got a solid 7 hours, 10 minutes, and I feel okay. I feel fine today. So this is the problem with the 5 a.m. club. With the 5 a.m. club, to stay healthy and alive, you've got to get those 8 hours sleep. The people who do the 5 a.m. club and still go to bed at 11 p.m, midnight, you're increasing your risk of dementia. Your brain develops, I think is amylase, it's like a plaque that forms on the brain over time. You can't do that and be healthy. And so with the 5 a.m. club, you've got to get those 8 hours, which means you've got to be sleeping by 9 p.m, which means you've got to really be in bed, home by 8 p.m, doing your night hygiene, whatever, brushing your teeth, and then in bed now, definitely by 8:30, 8:45. That makes living a normal life almost impossible. Like, I could not have gone to that Cirque du Soleil event. But with the 10 till 6 routine, lights out by 10, up by 6, I can drop back an hour either way. So go to bed an hour earlier at 9 p.m. or go to bed at more or less an hour later at 11 p.m. From the research I've done, that will not affect your next day, your circadian rhythm, too much. You can play with an hour either side. But the 5 a.m. club is so disruptive. So this routine worked well last night when I was invited out to Cirque du Soleil, and I'll put a couple of clips in. Yeah, very impressive show. But it allows you to live your life as well, this 10 till 6 routine, whereas the 5 a.m. club, I'm not convinced about that. I think for a block, for maybe 1 or 2 months, if you're completely independent, like I know Robin Sharma goes out to somewhere near Turin, I think North Italy, and he will just focus on writing his book, and it's just him and his lady. But if you're, say, living in London or New York or I don't know, some place where there's a lot of friends around you and they're asking you out and you having to turn down everything, is that really living? I'm not sure. I guess some people would say, yes, I'm building my dream project and so good for you. But I'm not sure I'm really willing to turn down almost every evening thing that I could go to do that. So anyway, yeah, they're the lessons learned so far. Focus on the cornerstone habit. Occasionally you can bend the rules on that, drop back an hour so that you can socialize still, and then stay away from all trivial tasks. Before the first 3 work blocks, no WhatsApp, no nothing, and that will help to stay focused and move the needle. So yeah, day 4, let's go. I'm very eager to get out the door because I've had to retake this video. It was not recording on the last one. Day 4, let's go.